It's Holy Thursday now, and things are getting increasingly heavy as we approach tomorrow's crucifixion. Jesus was with his disciples, and he sent some of them out to go to a man and tell them to prepare a room for them. Jesus said that they were going to share their Passover meal there. They sat down, and this is when Jesus said, "I tell you the truth, one of you is going to betray me." And everybody was like, "Is it me? Is it me?" And Judas said, "Is it me?" And Jesus said, "You have said it." Then Jesus took some bread and blessed it, and he took some wine. Verse 28 says, "This is my blood, which confirms the covenant between God and his people. It is poured out as a sacrifice to forgive the sins of many. Mark my words, I will not drink wine again until the day I drink it with you in my Father's kingdom." Going back to Judas saying, "Rabbi, am I the one who betrays you?" reminds me of Matthew chapter 12, verse 34 that says, "The mouth speaks from the overflow of the heart." Judas already knew what his heart was going to do. Then he and the disciples head out to the Mount of Olives, and this is when Jesus predicted that Peter will deny him 3 times before the rooster crows, he says. Of course, Peter denies it, and all of the disciples vow and swear. In verse 35, it says, "Peter insisted, 'Even if I have to die with you, I will never deny you.' And all of the disciples vowed the same." This showed Jesus even more why he was going about this mission, because although they didn't want to betray Jesus, they couldn't help it. Then they made it to the Garden of Gethsemane. He told them, "My soul is crushed with grief to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." He went on a little further and bowed his face to the ground, praying, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup of suffering be taken away from me, yet I want your will to be done and not mine." He turned to the disciples and found them asleep. This happened 3 times, and on the third time when he came back to check and they were sleeping, he says, "Go ahead and sleep, have your rest, but look, the time has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Up, let's be going. Look, my betrayer is here." And then here comes Judas. He vowed with the armed men that he would walk up to Jesus and give him a kiss on the cheek as a sign that that is Jesus. And then immediately his disciples start getting defensive, and one of them actually cuts the ear off of one of the men. But Jesus says in verse 52, "Put away your sword. Those who use the sword will die by the sword. Don't you realize that I could ask my Father for thousands of angels to protect us, and he would send them instantly? But if I did, how would the scriptures be fulfilled that describe what must happen now?" Then Jesus said to the crowd, "Am I some dangerous revolutionary that you come with swords and clubs to arrest me? Why didn't you arrest me in the temple? I was teaching there every day." But this is all happening to fulfill the words of the prophets as recorded in the scriptures. At that point, all the disciples deserted him and fled. Then they took Jesus to the home of Caiaphas, the high priest, to be taken before the council, and everybody was trying to find a witness against him. They were even trying to find people who would give false testimonies, and it says that a lot of people did.